I have a geeky science for you, and then we will get to your phone calls here. This is an absolutely fascinating story, and that is that our heartbeats may shape the speed of our heartbeats may shape our perception of time. This was a study that was published this month in the journal Psychopathology. It was done by researchers in the psychology department at Cornell University. And what they did is they fitted undergraduates with electrocardiograms, you know, the little, put the stickers on your chest and measure the electrical impulses of your heart. So they've got it's not just like listening to your heartbeat rate, but able to measure the heartbeats right down to a millisecond, a thousandth of a second or less. And then played audio tones for them and asked them to estimate how long those audio tones were playing. Is that beep? You know, is that 1 second? Is it a half second? Is it 2 seconds? And what they discovered was that when people's heartbeats were slow, that they tended to perceive the tone as being longer. And when their heartbeats sped up, they tended to perceive the tone as being shorter. In other words, our perception of time changes. I remember being a little kid. I have such a clear memory of this because it was one of those kind of epiphany moments. I must have been 6, 7, 8 years old. I was up in Newego at my grandparents' house, and actually they owned an antique store, and I was in my grandma's antique store, and the sun was coming in through the front window, and she had a parrot in the front, and I was sitting there, and there was this fly, and he was just a big black fly, you know, just your normal house fly, and flying around, and I tried to catch him, and I just couldn't, and it suddenly occurred to me, and his wings were moving so fast, it suddenly occurred to me that for that fly, my hand going through the air probably looked like slow motion. In other words, I mean, I remember the moment it hit me. That fly has a different perception of time than I do. His understanding of time, he probably only lives 3 months, but he probably thinks that 3 months is what I would think is 90 years. And, you know, that has stuck with me for, geez, you know, more years than I'd care to admit. And it turns out, yeah, sure enough, there's some science to this. The study goes on in the report. They note there is no single part of the brain or body that keeps time. It's all a network. See, flies' hearts beat much faster than ours. The brain controls the heart, and the heart in turn impacts the brain. They note a study of time perception conducted during the first year. Now, this is where it gets absolutely fascinating. This kind of goes beyond heartbeat. Because, you know, apparently we have multiple metrics or multiple influences, variables that influence our perception of the passage of time. Not just our heartbeat, which we are aware of even though we're not hearing it all the time, our brain is aware of, but also our external circumstances. And, you know, we've all experienced this, right? I mean, you're waiting at the DMV and time is slowing down as you're standing in line, and there's 35 people ahead of you, and it's the damn DMV. And on the other hand, you know, you're having a great time with friends or family, and you know, 2 hours goes by, and it seems like it was 15 minutes, right? So we've all had that experience. So this is where it gets fascinating. A study of time perception conducted during the first year of the lockdown in Britain found that 80% of participants reported distortions in time in different directions. On average, older, more socially isolated people reported that time slowed, whereas younger, more active people reported that time sped up during the lockdowns. And then they noted that there's other things that affect this. One, people with depression experience a slowing of time, and that slowing of time is experienced as being a worsening factor in the depression. I just find this whole thing fascinating. I did not, during the pandemic, and I'm curious what your experience was, I did not experience the pandemic as a slow period of time, but I did my show every day throughout the pandemic. We were very fortunate. Sean was here all alone in the studio. Nate was working from home. Joyce was in here too. Okay, Joyce and Sean were here in the studio. kept we've got separate rooms. Joyce is in a separate room, and they were keeping the doors closed, and we got these air purifiers. I mean, this is before the vaccine, right? But this was noble work that Sean and Joyce did, and Nate could do the video work from home remotely. He had, thankfully, we've got a system that allowed that, and I could do my show from home, and I set up a camera at home and came in remotely, and we were able to just continue doing it. And so I don't have any memory of time slowing down during the pandemic, but I know from meeting and talking with some of my relatives that they have, that other people have, and so fascinating stuff. Anyhow, so much for the geeky science. Let's pick up your calls. What's on your mind today? We'll be back with more of your calls, or we'll be back with your calls this hour in just a moment. It is 16 minutes past the hour here on your media support group for We the People.